Welcome again to the S.E.M podcast. I am your solo host today, Zach Hewlett, and today I'm joined by our good friend Alexandra Berry, as you may know her from the mission. Now, Alexandra Raminieni. Did I say it right? Oh my gosh. Sorry. Before we started this, Alexandra was walking me through how to say it, and it didn't go so well. So hopefully I did all right. Alexandra, it's so good to have you on the podcast. You and I have been corresponding now for a couple of months, and now the day's here. We're super excited to have you. Tell me where in the UK you're living.
So at the moment, I live in opposite London still. I live in North London. So it used to be part of the Watford stake. Now they've recently, for some reason, the 70 felt inspired to divide the Watford stake, and now we're part of the St Albans stake. And we might still be the smallest ward, Enfield ward, which is cool. And we're still there. It's quite funny. My husband and our little 3-year-old Adrian, and I've been there since I was 8. But around North London, I've been so I know everyone's known me for since I was younger and everything. They see me through primary, youth, and everything else. So it's quite funny. So we're one big family in that ward. So it's
That's so cool. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, you've been listening to the podcast. Our format, we talk about what your life was like before the mission and your anticipation of going on a mission, maybe your choice of going on a mission as well. And we'll talk about life since you've been home, and then we'll go back through and reminisce through Scotland. So I'll give the floor to you.
Yeah. Oh, so do you know what? The funny thing is, I was, when I was a youth, I was going through my patriarchal blessing, and it always mentioned about Messiah. Chapter 2, verse 17, how, you learn wisdom, if you learn these things, wisdom, then you learn you in the service of your fellow beings, you only in the service of your God.
Yeah.
And so, certain things in life, your patriarchal blessing, things stand out. And so, to be honest with you, at the time, it didn't sort of stand out to me. And so I was called as a ward missionary anyway, and I used to go out with the missionaries every single day. I loved going out with the missionaries. I loved doing tracking with them, and cool. I got to practice doing the lessons. And we at the time we did loads of discussions, and then eventually moved on to preach my gospel. So obviously I got to learn both bits. It was awesome. So I don't know, my whole family, we've always been a missionary family. And if it wasn't for my mother for joining the church, I would not be here. I would not met my husband. I would not be sealed or anything like that. And I just think, wow, just huge blessing because of her. And, the thing is, the amazing part, when I was only a baby, and it was my aunt at the time, my mum was down here just with me, and she was only 27. This is before she met the missionaries. And she just felt really she wasn't even a member or nothing, but she felt in her heart, I needed to get baptized, or I needed to go to a church for some reason. And for one day, she just, she went to different churches without even knowing about Joseph Smith, went to different churches, and then she just felt, no, this is not it. She went with Jehovah's Witnesses. No, this is not it. Even went to the Catholic Church, and for some reason the doors were shut. Just no. And then my mum once she was telling me, she just went into the apartment, obviously went to the room, and she just knelt on her knees, and she really just prayed and asked Heavenly Father, where can I take my child? Where can I take Alex? Where can we go? If you really exist, tell me you really exist. And I never forgot my mum when she told me, the next following day, 2 missionaries, Elder Glenn, Elder Douglas. My mum's always talking about it. 2 American missionaries. And so at the time, my mum was living in this massive tall block with all different flats and everything. They went to the top, even though my mum was at the bottom, and they knocked on every single door. And then when my mum met them, and as soon as she opened the door, everything they said, we believe our church to be the true church upon the earth. And then my mum asked them about questions about babies. Do they really need to be baptized? And they said no. And when she shook their hand, she felt like as if she met them before. And I was, so it's just amazing. And she just dragged them and said, please come in, teach me.
Man, I got goosebumps just hearing that. That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah. So if it wasn't because of her, I wouldn't be in the church. And then my mom, even growing up, like so many spiritual experiences when you see your family, when they apply the gospel in their life, you can see the evidence of Heavenly Father's love. Just raising as a child, we were quite poor, and just many things my mom knew about, always putting her faith, always paying her tithing. And it's just amazing how Heavenly Father just provides straight away. There was one time, I know I'm a little bit talking off topic in my life, but I'm trying to sort of lift it up to that.
Yeah.
I never forgot one time where my mother, she knew she had to pay her tithing, but she didn't worry about her gas, electricity, or the food. But she thought, no, if I pay that, everything is going to be okay. At the time, I was quite young. I was about 10. I was thinking, what's mom doing? You need the gas and electricity. But I thought, okay, fine. And then the amazing part, I couldn't believe when she did that. Apparently, the Reese Society felt inspired to come to my mum's house, and they had a big, massive hamper of food. So she was sorted with the food. And then on Monday, she got gift vouchers and things and a letter from the gas and electricity company saying that she overpaid and she doesn't need to pay. And then, do you know what I mean? My face was like, what's going on, Mom? What's going on? And then, so it really, all these little things she did. And then she used to push us. She used to push us. We used to walk to church and walk more than an hour just to get to church. We couldn't afford a bus at the time. My mum, just push my other little siblings in the buggy up this great big massive steep hill. And I used to think to myself, why did you do those things, Mum? Why did you do that? And then we used to always have missionaries over. My mum loved missionaries. My mum would just feed them all the time. Even when I got to the teenager, when at one point we moved to another place called Edmonton, and I was in my teens, my mum even said to the elders as well, because she literally treated them like her sons. She said, you know where the spare key is? If you're hungry, just go into the house and grab whatever and just cook yourself food. And then every time we still abided by that rule.
Sure.
So I had to wait outside of the house while they go inside the house and cook some food for themselves. It was quite funny.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very, very cool origination story of how you ended up in the church, which is great. And, big props to your mom. That's really cool. So tell me a little bit more about your decision to serve a mission and your experience getting your call to Scotland.
Yeah. So at the time, I was like a war missionary. And at the time, I don't know, I thought maybe I like this guy. That's the guy. Maybe I thought something was going to happen over here. Am I going to marry him or something? But then I thought maybe, no, I need to do something else. And I was sort of in denial, mixed, I don't know. And then it was sort of when I had Bishop said to me, you'll make a good missionary. And then I was like, nah, I'm not going on a mission. Nah, I'm not supposed to go on a mission. Nah. And I was in denial about it. And you know what? I even tested Heavenly Father as well. One day, I think I was only, I was in my 20s. So I was only 21. And I went on my knees and I said, okay, Heavenly Father, you want me to go on a mission. Just show me some sign, prove it to me. What happened? I did that on Saturday. Big mistake. Sunday, everything was about missionary work, to the hymns, to the lessons, to the talk, everything. My face was like, no. I was like in denial. I was like, no, this can't be. No. So then a bishop came to me and he went, you make a really good missionary. And I was like, just being stubborn. But then, I kind of sort of realized, when I went home after the day, I just went upstairs and I just said another prayer. And I just said, Heavenly Father, do you really want me to go on this mission? And I just felt overwhelming of peace. And I felt like a clear answer saying, yes.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So I sort of just put my pride away and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Came downstairs, because I was upstairs in the bedroom when I said the prayer. And I just went like this on top of the stairs, sit on the steps, just go like that. And I went, Mom, I'm going on a mission. And she's like, oh, really, that's really good. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, and that's it. Called the bishop. Bishop was over ecstatic at the time. And best thing I ever done in my life. Best thing ever. And it's funny because my mum is actually Scottish. So I'm
Oh,
actually
really?
half Scottish.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
So I've got relatives in East Kilbride in Glasgow area.
Okay.
That's the
Nice.
funny thing. Yeah. I kind of wondered why I never went to Glasgow, but I can see why, because at the time, my auntie, people have their agency, don't they? They choose whether they want to, like the church or not and things. But fun enough, her best friend was LDS. So that was
Oh,
funny. Because my mum had spiritual experience with that one. So I'll say that later. But yeah.
nice.
So yeah.
That's awesome. Now, we've heard it from a few English missionaries. Were you happy with Scotland? Were you hoping for something a little bit more exotic when it came to a mission call? Like, what was your thought?
You know what? At first, I think, to be honest, at first I was a little bit disappointed because I thought maybe I can go somewhere cool. But then when I kept thinking about it, I think no, because if the First Presidency are telling me and they're inspired and Heavenly Father's telling them I need to go, there's a reason I need to go there to learn and grow and just connect with the people. So I kind of sort of just realized, no, okay, this is where I'm meant to go.
Yeah.
I was happy I got calling. And you know what? I put in my mission papers, because at the time the sister missionaries helped with my papers, filling my papers. And I put no big spiders. So that's probably why I did get sent to the country.
No big spiders.
I got to sound like tarantulas and things like that. I don't like big insects. I was like, nah.
It's true. I didn't experience many of those things. That's very, very true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. All right. So timeline wise, you entered the MTC when, and when would you have come home then?
So I entered September 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have got home
April 2009. So I think it's 2 months just after the Fredericks went home, funny enough.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we would have just missed each other. I went home in January of 2007. So yeah, for sure. Okay, so take us back to April of 2009. What have you been up to since then?
So yeah, just came home, just got into a bit of studying. At the time I was studying at college. I didn't know what to really study, so I just did more like art and design, because I'm a bit of art and design freak. I can draw and I can do Photoshop and graphics here and there. Over the years, just working casually, just working in different jobs in like the airport. I worked in London Stansted Airport for a while with mobility section. My customer service came very handy. I learned from my missionary skills. That was handy, because at one point I was in a room full of more than 40 people, and you're trying to calm these people, and you're dealing with people complaining and things like that. So you're trying to keep everyone happy. And I'm in airside, because if everyone goes out near the planes or anything, because we're in a hut, so it was a special mobility section I was working for. And so I was trying to keep everyone calm until I got, obviously, other people to come to take them out, because agents will take them out through to passport control and then take them out and etc. So I was sort of in control of that bit. So I had to keep calm. So if it wasn't for my missionary skills, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, herding people. That sounds terrible. Goodness bless you for doing that.
Yeah. So and then during that time, funny enough, I met my husband. And the funny story about my husband, he came to it was funny enough, the sisters met him as he was on his way to Catholic church, because he felt like he needed to get baptized. He just had that feeling, I need to get baptized. He was telling his mum, even though he was baptized as a child in, the Catholic church in India, because he's obviously from South India.
Okay.
And so the sisters taught him. Me, naughty, I was supposed to be at his baptism. I was supposed to do a talk at his baptism. I was supposed to talk about Holy Ghost. Naughty. I missed that. So I would have met him even earlier. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
It was crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, you met him a few times in church, fellowshipped, you build friends. And it took him 3 months to ask me out on a date, bless him.
That's nice.
Because he was shy. But
he-
he loved going out with the missionaries. Obviously he got baptized, obviously. And we just dated for 2 years. And then, fun enough, I got married in India, which was really cool. So I got married in a Catholic church, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
And then when we came back, we got sealed in London Temple, which was wicked. And then what's even more cool? So the dates that we got, like I got my endowment and he got his endowment, are the same day and the same month. It was insane because when we were in the temple anyway, I think we were set because we went on one Sunday, one Saturday to get his endowment, and because we went in the office to plan our sealing, and then the lady in the office, they're just like, look, it's his. I was like, that's not coincidence. Do you know what I mean? That's not.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What was the time frame difference? Like a handful of years, maybe?
Yeah. So 2017, and mine 2007. So 10 years.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. That's really
cool.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you've been married how long then?
Since 2017. Yeah, for 6 years now. Yeah, we recently celebrated already our anniversary in September.
Nice.
So that was crazy. Yeah, it just goes like that, quick. That's it.
Yeah, and before you know it, it's much further than that. I can assure you, it doesn't slow down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you said you have a little one, right?
Yeah, we've got a little one called Adrian, a little 3-year-old. Today he did primary presentation. It was so good. I was so happy.
Nice.
All the little kids, we all had to dress up in primary basic colours. It was a little tantrum, but it's okay. Everyone knows. We're all like big family. You know how kids are. You're trying to get them distracted. Like, no, you got to sit. Everybody's watching you. Look, Bishop is watching you. Everybody's watching you. You sing those songs and everything. So yeah.
That's fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Very cool. I cut you off before. Did you have something else you wanted to say?
No. Go for it.
Cool.
Sometimes I'm a bit of a blabbermouth, so I can talk. So cut me.
I'm not going to cut you because this is your podcast. I mean, my name's not on it. It's yours, Alex. So, well, good. Well, it sounds like you got a lot going on, which is fun. Would love to go back now to the mission, talk about, time. If you want to start in the MTC, you're welcome to, but if you want to jump into Scotland, you can go from there as well, whichever you choose.
Yeah. So 2007, September. The funny thing was, on the day before I went to the airport, because we went to Heathrow Airport, I had to get a plane to get to Manchester, to Preston, obviously that's where the MTC is. And I remember just, obviously you get set apart by the state, presidency. And then when I woke up, when you think differently, you just start feeling all these strong promptings and your higher thoughts. Mm-hmm. And, I was just like, whoa, what's going on here? So obviously my mother, lucky enough, we went with our bishop, because he was like, no, I'm going to make sure I get you to the airport so there's no disruptions, no one's going to stop you or anything else, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we got dropped off there, which was awesome. And the crazy part was I was only able to bring one suitcase. So I only had 14 clothes when I went to the MTC.
Oh my God.
But later on, I found out, obviously the airport made a mistake that the church actually paid for my second suitcase. So I only had 14 sets of clothes. Lucky enough, when I got to MTC, I had some money, so I was able to buy some other garments and things like that. Yeah. But it was just awesome. When you're into the MTC, I just felt peace. I can't remember the couple's names. I'm really bad with names. But they were a lovely couple, obviously acting as, Mission MTC president and his wife. And it was just like the transitioning of the classes. I had, as my companion, Sister Bowler. She was awesome. She went to, I think she went to Birmingham or Leeds. I can't remember, one of the two. But she was awesome. And then, fun enough, I had obviously my other companions, like obviously other companions. So Sister Homequest. I still keep in contact with Sister Homequest. I love her. And then Sister Cook was there. And yeah, because it was only 3 sisters. So myself, Sister Cook, and Sister Homequest were the ones that we went at that time. And then we had other elders as well. So we had Elder Patel. Elder Patel is in my stake, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I see him quite a lot. With his lovely wife and kids. Who else? Yeah, Elder Blake. There was a few others as well. And so it was amazing. I can't complain. And then I never forgot, I had, when we had obviously went out obviously to go and test our missionary skills, obviously on members, and we had to go in a lesson. And for some reason, I don't know why, like the opposition was so like really hard. Like I was getting all these feelings like saying you can't do this, and it was just like sort of I couldn't be able to open my mouth. But I remember, obviously, the person that was at the time who was assigned as my companion, everything that I was going to say, you know, when you go into a shop and you have those letters that go past like this, it was literally felt like that. And she said word for word everything that I was meant to say. And I was like,
Wow.
it was just insane. I was like, wow, that's wow. Do you know what I mean? So I never forgot. So it just sort of taught me, just no. You got to open your mouth. Just open your mouth. Just bear your testimony. Open your mouth. And, you know, at that point when we got onto the train, I was able, you know, we opened our mouth. Some of us, we were talking to passengers about the gospel, which was awesome, giving pamphlets. And then obviously when we got to Edinburgh, it was awesome. We, just before we came off, we saw, what's his name? Saw Brent, I think. You would know them. At the time, they were the MPs. So they were with President Frederick at the time, and they just had big dashing smiles, like, you know, kind of we got off the train. and then we got onto this big white mini bus, then went to the mission home. The mission home was so cool. I love the mission home.
Yeah, agreed. Awesome building.
Yeah, beautiful building. Oh, so beautiful. So we went in there, and then, you know, obviously we got to meet I think that we stayed overnight, obviously, because we're in the rooms, and then obviously you slept with other sister missionaries, and the next following day you got to meet our trainers. And then my trainer was Sister Steiner. She was awesome.
Nice.
And then I met Sister Wellington, and there was another sister, and I can't remember her name. She had brown hair. I think she trained Sister Snyder. Yes, Sister Stalker. Is it Stalker or something? What's her name?
Stoker, yeah.
Stoker. I keep calling her Stalker. It's bad. Yeah, Stalker.
All right.
Bless her. So she's my grandmother, technically.
Okay, nice.
So mission grandma. So yeah, she was there, and I saw them, and I was just like, wow, look at them. They look so glamorous, just the way they were dressed and everything. And you know what the funny thing is, before I was like coming on a mission, because I was talking to sister missionaries down in, you know, obviously different missions, different rules, and obviously the sisters were helping me and preparing me in my ward as well. And they were just telling me, okay, just make sure you have this, that, this. And I was like, okay. I was like, but I can't leave a mascara and my eyebrow pencil. I was like, please let me have that. And then as soon as when we went in the mission home, we went in a separate room with obviously possibly all these beautiful other trainers. And as soon as I loved Sister Frederick, as soon as she just opened her mouth, she just said, she looked at us up and down, because I was my clothes. I think I don't know. I think because I had less clothes, that's the reason. So I didn't think I looked as presentable as them lot. And I never forgot when Sister Frederick said, she says, girls, a barn looks better painted. And that's always stuck with me. And I was like, yes. I was like, yes, I love you. Do you know what I mean? I said, you are definitely meant to be my mission president's wife and mission president. Yes. So
Oh my gosh.
it was awesome. So when obviously at some point later on, when Sister Snyder took me off to Livingston Ward, because that's my first ward,
Nice.
I was there for 9 months.
Oh my
9
goodness.
months. I know, half of my mission. Had some awesome experiences as well. And I was like so happy. I was like, Sister Snyder, I said, I know this is our P. I said, I've only got like this amount of clothes. Can I please go shopping just to get some extra clothes and just get some perfume and maybe some possible makeup? And so, I don't know, us British girls, we kind of like makeup and stuff. Sometimes it seems a bit over the top. So we went shopping. I got my bits and bobs, bought her some stuff as well, so she's not left out. It was quite funny. I met, funny enough, we saw the elders at the shopping centre. So at the time, British elder Stephen Gardner, who I get in contact with, he's awesome. Gingerhead guy. He's wicked. Proper British guy. He was a funny guy. And then my first district leader, Elder Frainer. You probably might know.
Oh, I remember Chris Frainer.
Yeah, Chris Frainer. Yeah. I had some seriously good times with those guys. Really good times. So yeah, so we went. So then it transitioned. So after Elder Frainer, I think then I've got Chad Nielsen. Chad Nielsen later on, he obviously came MP. No, AP. MP, like Prime Minister. AP. So, he was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. So he was a Stephen Gardner, and we had some awesome times. You know, obviously every mission's different. You know, so I got to have different mission. I got to see different district leaders. I'm forgetting all my speech. So yeah, so Frainer, Nielsen. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Morden? No, Mortimer. Yeah, Mortimer. He came MP as well. Okay. I had him. And I think there was one more elder. And I cannot remember. This is so bad. They're going to kill me after later on. I'm like, sorry. You'll probably kill me. I'm like, sorry. So, and a British sense of humor is completely different. I don't know. Missionaries kind of mistaken me. You know, when we played a lot of times on PE days, not saying I was competitive, but sometimes I'll go, I'm going to kill you. Don't mean I'm necessarily going to kill somebody. So some missionaries will go, Sister Berry's going to kill someone. I'm like, no, it's sense of humor. Like Elder White got me. He understood me because he's British. Anyone who's British understands British sense of humor. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to stab them or anything like that. I'm a missionary. What am I going to do? Interviews with president, I wouldn't do that. So it's just, just competitiveness. So yeah, so it was just awesome. And you know what? We met a man. He was going to be scheduled to be baptized. He was so willing to be taught the gospel, because I only saw one baptism in that area. It's okay, you obviously teach, but it just points out that nothing is a waste, because I got to see him right at the last, right at the end of my mission, just when I was finishing, just 2 weeks before I was going, and I saw him at state conference. And he was like, Sister Berry. And I was like, where did you go? We lost you. And he went, I was waiting for you guys to teach me. I was waiting.
Oh, man.
I was so happy he got baptized, and he had the priesthood. He was telling me he got the Aaronic priesthood, and he was all out in this suit. And I was just like, that was just hit the highlight. So never a waste. I had quite a few companions. So Sister Snyder, then I got Sister Wellington. She's absolutely hilarious. I love her. She's absolutely hilarious. Then I got a sister called Sister Price. And then I got, that's it, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Just 3 of them. Yeah. Sister Price. Unfortunately, at one point, Sister Price, she was lovely. Unfortunately, she loves singing as well. She had to go home, obviously due to health conditions. So at one point, I got to stay 2 weeks with the senior sisters, which was really cool, in Edinburgh. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
But we bought the big giant area book, trying to go through. You're still trying to do all the mission by yourself. Still keep talking to Elder Nielsen. Oh, what's up? Yep, okay, I will do this. I'll try this. Try and set up
Nice.
that time. So yeah. And then after I obviously Livingstone, eventually, I made a good relationship with the bishop there. You know, they're like my family. I love them. Eventually, I went to Dundee, and I was in Dundee for I think 4 months. I was there, and I went with Sister Homequest. And so me and Sister Homequest, we technically didn't have an area. So we had the whole area of Dundee. We can go everywhere, and we had a car, which was awesome.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so we went to 2 wards, Lift Ward and Bingham Ward. So one Sunday I would be either at Lift Ward, and Sister Homequest will be at another ward, and we will go and split in companions and, you know, use a member as our, you know, companion and stuff, which was awesome. And then some point down the road, we got to train Sister Roberts, Claire Roberts. She's from Coventry. Lovely girl, really lovely girl. So we got to train her. Still doing the mix up of going here, there, everything. It was amazing. It was honestly amazing. We met a lot of good members there. You know, there was some cases where we had, you know, unfortunately, this one girl, she was very young. She was going to be baptized, and one point she was going to commit. So at one point, I ended up chasing her to stop her jumping off a building. So I got, you know, I just felt prompted to chase after her and grab her and be like, no, and just hug her and just like, no, come. But she was going through a lot. She was pregnant, and you know, when you're in a mission, you just feel that extra love for these people, because you just feel Heavenly Father sort of telling you to tell them, Heavenly Father's really there. He really loves you. Don't do this. No, it's not the end. It's okay. You can get help. You know, you can just stay with us. So I was happy at that time, and yeah, we just met. There was so much. It was just awesome, honestly. I never forgot. There was one point where I went with a member, and so because we didn't have an area, we went through all the less active members in both Bingham and Lift Ward, and we will try and work with part member families and the members. And then obviously at that time, I'm not sure if you remember, maybe, where we were introduced, where we would teach the members parts of Preach My Gospel, and they get them to invite their friends, and they would obviously teach their friends. Do you know what? It worked. It was amazing.
Really? That's cool.
I had so many experiences where it worked, and you sort of sat in the background, sort of sit, greet, all those points. It just like literally, you're looking at chapter 8, the setting goals. It literally just pointed every tick, 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 with the members just coming in doing the work. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And so we worked around a lot of part member families. You know, obviously got people to come back, and then obviously taught their families so they can come as well, and that's stay more united. And it was just, and at the time, my district leader I had was Elder Rose. He was awesome.
Nice.
Elder Rose was so cool. Yeah, so we had Elder Rose, and then my stake. The stake. What are they called now? I forgot. See what I mean? I'm forgetting now. So you got district leaders, and then you've got the stake.
The zone leaders.
That's it. Why am I forgetting? Do you know what I mean?
It's all right. It's been a minute.
I know. So you remember this guy, Justin Elder Van Leuven.
Oh yes, we've heard Justin's name many times.
Yeah. What a character! Oh, he was funny. He was absolutely hilarious. He goes, Sister Berry, what the heck you doing? It was all this, just funniness. So we used to play, sometimes on PE days, play some sports, either in Bingham Ward or Lift Wards, which was awesome. We did the big, massive football with all the other elders. That was wicked. I don't know, English thing, you say wicked means cool. So, typical slang. I know, it's typical slang.
Andrea, come on. It's been a while since I've been to the UK, but I knew what it meant.
Yeah.
Oh man. I guess there might be a few people that are listening that don't know what that means, so I appreciate that.
I know, because some people are like, what's she saying and stuff like that. I try not to, because I realize like sometimes the Psalm quest will just like, don't say words like certain words, because you don't use hell and things like that. I was like, oh, okay, sorry. I don't know. Us English people, we just use it. It's like the norm, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. It's
Oh,
like,
I heard it firsthand many times, and I thought, oh, that's an interesting cultural difference that
I know,
that
I
us
know.
Americans would say otherwise. No, it's all right. It's all good.
Yeah, so to get that difference, yeah. So, yeah, but there was one. So, yeah, with one member, went out and we taught this guy. It was actually fun enough. He was a Muslim guy, and as we went in, first we were just going to teach the restoration, the first lesson, and then for some reason, like he was asking all these other multiple questions, and I don't know, like when I sat on my body, some of the questions he asked was in-depth questions. I felt like someone just jumped in my body and was just doing all the talking. I had that
Hmm.
kind of experience, and I was able to answer all the questions and things, to relate to the Bible and things like that. And at the end of the lesson, obviously he wanted to say a prayer, and we were all on our knees on the floor praying. And then as we left that lesson, I was just looking at the companion. I was like, you know what I mean? When you have the spiritual experience, like boom, it was like that. So I was just like, wow, the spirit is so strong.
Wow.
So that was one big spiritual experience. And even just little ones, there's probably loads. I just got to remember some of them, because I remember writing them in my journal as well. I'll do, it's amazing when you do personal study and then obviously companionship study. I love doing that, because you just felt every time you studied, you just get something new, even though you'd be studying the lessons again and again, and you're just like writing your thoughts, writing questions down. And it's just amazing how the spirit just gives you answers to those questions as well. And you're just like, whoa, this is intense. But sometimes like personal revelation for yourself.
Agreed.
Yes.
That was a big difference with missionary work as opposed to like regular life, is the amount of time you get to study and focus on either people you're teaching or principles that you want to either learn more about for a future conversation or even for your own self-edification. Like you can't find that type of time for study anymore. I mean, I'm sure you can relate to that with the little one. It's crazy the difference in life as a missionary versus as we are now.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I don't know. Life in a family member, sometimes you might have only had time just to read one chapter or some, and the kid just goes, "Ooh." So, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, kid. How kids are. They go everywhere, left, right, and center. My son likes to go near the pulpit and try and sit there. And this morning he just grabbed the mic, the soft bit, and just snatched it off. And then everyone was laughing. I was like, "You're supposed to say Jesus healed a blind man, buddy," and I end up saying it on the pulpit.
That's a good memory. You can tell him that later, because I'm sure he won't remember it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, husband remember. Oh, my family remember, because my mom's sitting there laughing. Everyone's just laughing their heads off. So good times.
That is fun.
Yeah. So yeah, Dundee ward. Yeah, 4 months, and then eventually I went to Aberdeen ward, which was cool.
Oh, man.
And I served with Sister Ott. She was amazing missionary. She just knew how to really. She had loads of empathy for people and love for people, and you could just see that the love of Christ through her eyes. That's how I sort of saw her. I was like, wow, this amazing missionary. I was like, how can I learn something off you? How can I be like you? And even like Sister Cook, she was amazing as well. I was hearing rumors about Sister Cook doing this and that, and I'm like, wow. The only thing is, I had to keep focusing on, because one thing about it, on my mission, my confidence wasn't as a person, wasn't as a normal person should be, because when I was a child I did suffer from epilepsy and things like that, and I had to catch up on studies and everything. But over the years, do you know what, when I did seminary, when I studied the Book of Mormon, literally the Book of Mormon taught me how to study, how to read properly. And literally, Heavenly Father, like, I knew when I came back on that mission, the mission changed me, and it literally gave me that confidence. It filled in those gaps. It just set me off for life. And, you know, even on Award, I'm always talking about mission because it's made me who I am today. So I was really glad I went on a mission. And so it was amazing meeting Sister Art, and then, you know, we go trekking, and then the snow used to be that much. It was freezing. It was a big puffy coat with the scarf, and we were like, wait at the bus stops, and like, oh, it's so cold, sister. And then you're trying to stop people, and I never forgot one elder. I could have strangled him, American Stephen Gardner. So you probably remember him, Stephen Gardner. He's a funny bloke. He's a funny.
Yeah.
I got to serve with him in Bingham Ward as well. He was a magistrate leader in Bingham with me and Sister Stonecrest. So again, he sort of, I think he was magistrate leader or became sort of acting zone leader. I think, I can't remember. So he was on the phone. We were just about to go home, and obviously it's freezing cold, because we're hanging around in Northfields in Aberdeen and those areas, and just, it was absolutely freezing. And sometimes, you know, and we were just about to get on the bus. He's like, right, sisters, you need to do 50 church invites and 50 baptism invites. I was like, what the fuck, elder? Do you know what I mean? He's like, you got to do it. You got to do it. He's like, go. I was like, okay, we will do it. So Sister Art, she took downstairs, I took upstairs. I just stood up in front of the people, and I just announced and just said, I did like a little sermon, you know, just announced in front of them. And I said, you know, if you came to know these things are true, would you be baptized on this such and date? And would you come to church this Sunday? We managed to get 2 investigators because of that. So that was awesome.
Holy cow, serious?
Yeah.
You did that at the mall?
No. At the bus stop. So
at the bus stop.
Yeah.
My gosh. Yeah. I was like, you did that at the mall. That's brave.
Actually,
you get people throwing like battered food at you or something.
Actually, you know what? With Sister Snyder, we did do it was called Golden Question, funny enough. Now I remember.
Yeah, GQ.
And we did and we did go to the town centre, and we did stop people, funny enough. And even Elder Frayne and Elder Gardner used to come with us. So we used to stop people and do things like that. But that was hilarious. I couldn't believe it. On the top of the double-decker bus, so I announced it with those people. And then Sister Ott did her thing downstairs. We just split and did that. Obviously, still see each other, still distance. Like, yeah, I'm here. So that was awesome. Came off. And then we thought, okay, we'll walk to our apartment. And so we're stopping people, about, giving pamphlets, and then we managed to accomplish it. We go inside our apartment just before 9 o'clock. We go, hey, we did the 50 baptism, church invites and baptism invites. He's laughing on the phone. He's like, sister, you didn't really have to do that. I said, what? I was like, you know what? We got 2 people. We got 2 new people because of that. So it's fine. It's okay. Don't worry. I can heal you. Do you know what I mean?
He was just taking the mick out of you in that moment. That's crazy.
Yeah. Do you know what? He did us a favor. So it was fine. It was like, okay, no problem. So it was all right. Yeah. So I think I served in that area for like 3 months. One point, our apartment was so cold. Oh my goodness.
Which flat were you living in?
Oh, jeez.
Was it the Charlotte Street one?
No. Do you know where the Sainsbury's is? Do you know it?
No.
So right, in Aberdeen, you got the Aberdeen City.
Right.
And you got the church. I'm going to have to find it on my phone or something.
No,
and it's a popular road, and it was like a small, tiny little flat, and the houses are quite old. So you used to be able to walk around the corner and you have Sainsbury's. It was quite handy for us. If I know it, I'll have to tell you some point.
The reason why I asked is because I was in the Aberdeen ward for the last 6 months of my mission. So, and we were there was a flat on Charlotte Street that was like a cobblestone road that you could walk straight down into the mall area. the shopping, and I don't remember if there was a Sainsbury's nearby or not because we had a
Yeah.
car. We went everywhere we wanted to. I was so spoiled when we were in Aberdeen, but
Lucky.
it wasn't a far walk. I think we'd walk through like the shopping area,
Uh-huh.
and then we wouldn't be too far to Union Street. So I don't know how
Yeah.
far away it was. Maybe you were a little
Do
bit
you
closer
remember?
to downtown.
Yeah. Do you remember coming out of the road and you go to the main road and then opposite it has like this small like retail park with Staples, and then on the right you'll see this chapel, and then the chapel splits into two roads, and you
I
stick to
think
the right
so.
and you
Yeah, yeah.
shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're over there then.
Yeah.
I wonder what they did with the old Charlotte Street. So you were in the Aberdeen ward. Were there also two other sets of elders in the ward?
No, actually not Aberdeen Ward. No. What was it?
Bridget Dawn then?
Yes, Bridget Dawn. That's
Okay.
it. Bridget
That
Dawn.
makes more
There you go.
sense.
There we go. There we go. So give him a confusion.
It's all
Memory
good.
check.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
so Bridget Dawn. Yeah. So went to that ward. That was awesome. Yeah. Taught a lot of people.
There are some great people in that stake. So I'm sure you hung out with a lot of some of my favorite people over there.
Yeah, we did. We did. It was good. Good times, good experiences, good dinner appointments. Can't complain about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to walk around, which was awesome. Got to go different areas. We got to teach people around there. I think there was certain people that it was quite dramatic in Aberdeen sometimes. You know, Bridget Dawn is not saying it harsh or anything, but there was at the time I was seeing a lot of things going on with amongst families, drama, and you're like, ooh, you know. But you know,
Yeah.
it just shows the world, isn't that no one's perfect. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed.
It's crazy as a missionary, you see even more outside and everything is. So it's like, whoa. Because even like gifted discernment is so strong.
Right.
But there was one big family there what was really cool. I can't remember the names. We used to go there all the time for like dinner appointments, and they managed to invite their family to their house. They managed to teach lesson 1 to them, and we sort of sat down in the background, me and Sister Art, and then eventually they went to church with them and sat with them, which was awesome.
Wow.
And so they went a few times, which was really cool. So it really worked out. So yeah, and then at the time, then I got, who did I get? Oh, also in Dundee, I did serve with Sister Talbot. Did I serve with Sister Talbot? And see, she's gonna tell. I mean, I served with either Livingston Ward or Dundee, one of the two. But she was awesome as well. That's it, Livingston Ward. Now I remember, because I remember we tried to visit this recent convert, tried to get obviously, you know, some people stay, some people, you know, they go. It's quite sad. So and then obviously when I was back to Aberdeen, and I keep switching back and forth.
You're okay.
So then eventually my greenie came, Sister Robert, she came up, and it was herself and Sister I think Sister Talbot. Yeah, those two. Yeah, because I think Sister Ott stayed there. I can't remember. Anyway, I felt too distracted. So I was telling President I wanted to move to Edinburgh. So I got him to move me to Edinburgh, which was better. And then I served with Sister Knowles and what's the beautiful sister missionary, American sister missionary. She's very small, blonde hair. What was her name? I can't remember her name. This is bad. This is so bad. I can't remember her name. But I can't remember her name. She's going to probably kill me as well. So I served with them at my last 12 weeks there, which was awesome.
Okay.
I almost got, we almost got off the bus, and I almost bumped into J.K. Rowling. because
What?
I'm a Harry Potter fan. Yeah. And I saw with a big bouquet of flowers because everyone was telling me in Edinburgh where she lives and near the three corners of the chapel, you know, because they call it the Holy Corner because it was three churches on every single corner.
Mm-hmm.
And then when me and Sister Knowles, after we were teaching people, we were a bit stressed, me and Sister Knowles were like, Sister, do you want to go to the chocolate shop? I was like, yeah. So during our break, to go to the chocolate shop, grab some Lindt chocolate, you name it. Or I just felt like grabbing one a chocolate bunny and ripping its head off. You know, when you're those days you're stressed out. So that was awesome.
Oh man,
Yeah, so it was good times. Good times.
that's pretty funny.
And then there was I think you might remember the senior sister called Sister Black.
Yeah, I remember Sister Black. Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was hilarious. I loved her.
Yeah.
She's very straight, boom, boom, you know, straight talker through and through. I was like, wow, you know. So everything she said, you knew, yep, okay. She was like acting like a mission mummy in a way. And so I loved it. You know, she gives you advice, tell you this, that. So which was really cool. Yeah. It was just amazing. Honestly, my mission. I can't, you know, sometimes when I came back, I was even like, when I was doing my last interview, I was trying to beg President. I was like, President, please let me stay for another month. Because obviously one of our investigators was getting baptized in Edinburgh at the time. And I wanted to see his baptism. And he was like, President Vetri was like, no, you got to go home. I was like, okay, fine. But you know what? Do you remember that time? Were you in Edinburgh Ward, or maybe you weren't in 2009? Probably not.
I did not serve in Edinburgh. No,
you didn't serve in. Oh, do you know what's crazy? What happened in Edinburgh Ward? Whoa! So I never forgot when we had the APs, and we were in like we were going to have like I think it was 19 baptisms at that time because there was a lot of missionaries in Edinburgh. In Edinburgh Ward, a lot of companionships. And one point, we weren't like, obviously people are not perfect at the time, but some people didn't think we should have those baptisms in that one day. Maybe we should spread it, maybe wait it a bit.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny. The two APs got up straight away, went next door, boom. And then later on, as soon as you know it, you hear Jeffrey R. Holland coming over, which was cool. And do you remember going to the Zone conference for Jeffrey R. Holland? Did you?
I was home by then, no.
Oh, it was so amazing. It was so amazing. Yeah. So amazing. And I felt privileged actually because Jeffrey R. Holland, he touched my hair just to get my hair out my hair out of the way to see my badge. Just like, oh, Sister Berry, that's a really cute name. And I'm like, oh, the person will touch my hair. You know, because it was the first time I met an apostle and everything, and his handshake and his wife, just awesome. And so I never forgot the words that he said in the Zone conference. No matter how hard life gets, stay in the boat. No matter how hard the winds come, just stay in the boat. And that's always stuck with me. It's always stuck with me. So when life goes hard or some things I don't understand, just stay in the boat. You know, just remember that God is always there. Heavenly Father's there and standby. Sometimes, we have to go through things, even though we don't like them. And sometimes we feel like God's not there, but he is really there. But it just makes us stronger. And I'm just really grateful for all the weaknesses that I've had in my life. I'm grateful for all the illnesses that I've had because it's just made me who I am. It's made me to show more empathy towards people. It's maybe to be more patient. I've learned patience from mission. Don't ever pray for patience. That's what all the missionaries said out there. But it just, it's just honestly, just hands down amazing. So that always stuck with me. And then I never forgot when eventually he did a stake conference meeting. And what's amazing about Apostle, you sit there and just before he even comes in, you know how you go in an elevator and you feel the elevator's going up? That's how it felt like, as if like you can feel the spirit, it just beginning to fill up the room because he's going to come through the door. And I was just like, whoa, look at him. And then I wasn't that far from him, from the pulpit. And one point he was telling the members, like, it was pounding the pulpit, and I thought the pulpit was going to break in two. Because you know how Scottish people, you end up, you have to be really bold and straight.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how bold or straight I was when I went back home, because everyone was like, why are you so bold? Why are you so straight? I was like, oh, I didn't know. I guess I picked it up. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
You just pick it up, because, you know, I had one example when we were on the road once, and, you know, I said we walked up to this guy and I went, hey, you know, you're a child of God. Heavenly Father loves you. You can find out by praying. And, you know, would you like to learn more things about the gospel of Jesus Christ, and, you know, believing families could be together forever? And then he was like, nah. And I was like, you know what, mate? Pray about it. I know it's true. Pray about it. And I just said it so boldly. As I walked off, he went, hey, come back here. Come back here. All right, teach me. And he went in and we did like church tours. Because, you know, we do church tours as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're Scots. You got to be bold. And you got to boom, boom. You probably don't realize that you were probably really bold. You don't realize it.
No, I was a timid little sheep. You know that.
Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that 1 second. I don't.
I was pretty easygoing. Let's be honest. I wasn't overly bold. I know that your era of missionaries were kind of, I hate to say the word forced, but it was a coerced of being forced with some of the things that had adjusted in the mission after I went home. So I was one of the apostate missionaries that everybody talks about, where, you know, we just knock doors and have fun in between. You know, that's kind of all we did. So
nah, don't say that. Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Nah. Do you know what? It's just not easy. Being a missionary is not easy, but it's so worth it. You know, it's so worth it. It just shapes you, and it just shapes you for the rest of your life. And it just adds more onto your testimony, because you're like a mini apostle with not a capital A.
Mm-hmm.
And just, you know, I can't take it away. I cannot take it away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't believe you're apostate. Nah, don't say that.
You know, none of us are perfect. Let's say that.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. No. Yeah, I know.
But you've mentioned some fun experiences that you had with President Sister Frederick. Is there any other memories that come to mind when you think of them and your time together with them as your mission parents?
Oh, do you know what? So just talking to them, just bonding with them, even when I was in Livingston ward, when Sister Price, you know, obviously I had to stay with the senior sisters, and then one point I went out with the Fredericks, and it's just, you know, just communicating with them, talking about their families, talking about their friends. And, you know, even one point, you know, even when we there was one cool experience where when Jeffrey Holland came, we got to stay in the Edinburgh House, in the Edinburgh House, in the mission home. We obviously, as we're coming down the steps, you can hear Jeffrey Holland and President Frederick having their like personal companionship study, and you're like, oh, this sounds so cool. You're like trying to listen out, peek and listen. And then you got Sister Frederick saying, come girls, come into the kitchen. I'm like, okay, we'll come into the kitchen. And then you just meet her little cute grandson. It's like, oh. You know, I love them. Honestly, they were just literally like my parents. Literally. I got so much love for them. You know, Sister Frederick, she, you know, sometimes she thought she wasn't, you know, she didn't think she was doing anything. And I was like, no, just being yourself, just being here and just setting that example, just being yourself and just extending that love to everyone. And then the way they used to talk to the other members, you can just really feel it. They really had that beautiful marriage as well. And some of the activities they had, they're like kids, they were laughing and giggling together. And I was just like, I want a marriage like that. I was like, you two are so cute. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
They're just, a pair of them are just adorable, just cute, you know, like little teddy bears you just want to put on the shelf and just keep forever. Right. Literally.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So, you know, and then all the other little meetings, you know, obviously the regular meetings we used to have with President Frederick as well. You know, you can just tell he was definitely meant to be, you know, my mission president at that time. I just felt, yeah, you're definitely meant to be here. It's funny, whoever Heavenly Father sends, they're just at that time, you can just tell, yeah, you're meant to be here at this time to help, obviously, inspire missionaries and to help them and, you know, just go forward the work. And it was just, their testimonies were just amazing. And I just, yeah, I got that love for them. They're forever my mission parents, as I used to call them, mission mum and dad. So I always felt excited to have an interview, and I've always felt excited when we had zone conferences and when both of them would say their talks, you know, express their testimonies as well. Just I need to go to Salt Lake. I need to see them. I want to give them big fat hugs because I haven't seen them for a long time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they would love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Alex, I've really appreciated hearing your journey and learning more about your experience in Scotland. It's been a lot of fun. One thing that you can do to be of help to us is I personally have not been able to get in touch with any of your companions. I think I may have had a conversation with Andrea Holmquist, but beyond that, none of them are responding to my messages. So if you can help me get some of them on the podcast, we'd love to have them. I think that'd be great. I mean, there was a handful of them that I do know from those that you served with that were there towards the end of my mission, but I didn't have very many sister missionaries with me wandering the Highlands the last 6 months of my mission. So I didn't have a lot of relationships that I can glean upon to ask for them to come on. So if you could help me with that, that'd be great.
Of course I will. Of course I will. I'll be more
beyond that, I was going to ask you, is there any other missionaries beyond those you've mentioned that you'd want to call out and shout out that you want them to be on the podcast in the future?
So, Sister Claire Roberts, I want you on here. Actually, I want everybody on here to be. Yeah, it would be good if you get Andrew on here, Sister Homequest, Sister Cook, Sister Art, because I've been sending them messages on Facebook.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm going to spread the word. I'll round them up. I'll round them up.
Sounds good. What about any of the elders you served around? I mean, you named a handful that haven't come on yet. Call them out.
Oh, Chad Nelson. Do you know what? At the moment, I'm trying to persuade UK Stephen Gardner, because I keep in contact with him on WhatsApp. Okay. So I said to him, I'm coming on here. You need to come on here, buddy. You need to come on here. Your turn.
I think that sounds good. I can tell you that we do have the American Stephen Gardner on our schedule in December. So you'll hear from him in the future. But anyone else that comes up, you know, you have my contact. Just let me know who I can reach out to that you've been able to persuade, and vice versa. Let people know that they can always reach out to me. I'd love to have them on our future schedule. It'd be a lot of fun.
Definitely. I love what you're doing. This is really good. So keep up with it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I was so super excited when you invited me. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like a big celebrity on here. So I felt.
It's been a lot of fun for both Jack and myself to not only get to reminisce and talk with those that we served around in the mission, but also to speak with those like yourself who carried on our legacy, if you will, as far as the time after we were in Scotland, and even speaking to those before we were in Scotland and hearing about their experiences with the transition that took place with Preach My Gospel coming in and adjustments between mission presidents. It's just been pretty fascinating to hear that. I mean, we could talk to probably anybody who served in Scotland and hear something that rings a bell as far as what we experienced. And bottom line is, this is a community of amazing people that had the privilege to serve in an incredible land, and there's something special about it. And so we just felt like it was an opportunity for us to get back in touch with each other a little bit more. And I just love that people are listening and talking about it and sharing it with each other. And I kid you not, there's nothing better than getting a message, whether it's a text, whether it's a WhatsApp, whether it's a Facebook message or an email, saying, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I'd like to come on the podcast." So it's just one of those things. It's kind of caught some wildfire a little bit, and we're not stopping. We got a lengthy list of people we want to
Yeah,
come on
keep it
here,
up.
so it'll be
Keep it up.
good to see what it looks like in the future for sure.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, thank you for your words of encouragement. That's really, really nice.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, Alex, I again appreciate you taking the time to be on and spend some time with us tonight. This doesn't happen without people like yourself giving some of your time to share your experiences, to talk about your amazing companions and the people that impacted you on your mission. So really, again, thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Well, and again, I'll express our love to you as our sister in Scotland. Thank you so much for just being one of our great sisters that served in that land. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right.
Likewise to yourself as well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I'm sure we'll be in touch more, Alex, in the future. But in the meantime, have a great night, and we'll talk to you more.
Definitely. Take care. Bye.
All right, then. Cheerio.